Your CBSE board exams are exactly 6 months away. So you sit down, open your science textbook, and spend 3 straight hours highlighting notes. You close the book feeling productive. Then a week later, you stare at a blank practice paper and your mind goes completely blank. You cannot remember a single equation. Looking at this side-by-side comparison, we see a cognitive trap called the fluency illusion. When your eyes scan a page, it generates a spark of familiarity. Your brain tricks you into thinking you know the material, but when it tries to pull up that memory, it hits a dead, disconnected gap. The problem is that board exams do not test your ability to recognize a sentence you read last month. They test your ability to actively retrieve data while a clock is ticking down. Traditional studying builds passive familiarity. Acing a high-stakes CBSE exam requires 2 specific biological traits: speed and accuracy. That specific combination is the foundation of LearningCharger, a platform designed to bridge the gap between passive reading and active execution. Notice the lightning bolt intersecting with the target in their logo. That represents the goal of high-speed accuracy. Success on exam day relies on the physical efficiency of your neural circuits, how they store data, and how reliably they return it under pressure. LearningCharger facilitates this through a quiz-first practice engine. You start a focused 10-question practice session mapped directly to your NCERT chapters, like quadratic equations. You encounter a difficult multiple-choice question. You tap an option, and it flashes red. You got it wrong. This illustrates neuroplasticity. When you receive immediate corrective feedback, this error signal disrupts the faulty circuit, creating conditions for a more accurate connection to form. LearningCharger capitalizes on this plasticity by providing an explanation right after the mistake, locking in the exact NCERT concept. Behind the scenes, the algorithm logs that specific failure. It ensures you spend your time on what you don't know, rather than reviewing concepts you already understand. On the dashboard, that specific misstep is isolated and queued up as a mandatory revision task under your week chapters. Because of this biological feedback loop, failing a question in practice is the most direct path to getting it right on the final exam. Accuracy alone will not save you if you run out of time with 5 questions left on the paper. You have to develop speed. When you look at your LearningCharger profile, you see a 7-day streak, XP points accumulating, and a 12-minute daily practice limit. These metrics are behavioral triggers. They leverage your brain's dopamine system to build the daily habit required for long-term retention. Watch what happens here. This is myelination. Daily, repetitive, active recall physically coats your neural pathways in an insulating layer called myelin. As the insulation thickens through daily use, electrical resistance drops, allowing you to recall complex concepts with significantly less delay. LearningCharger has over 40,000 NCERT-mapped questions. Think of these as conditioning weights that strengthen these neural pathways through volume. These gamified elements ensure the consistent daily repetition required for that insulation to develop, shortening the distance between seeing a question and knowing the answer. Compare the student staring at a stack of 5 textbooks, paralyzed by the burden of planning what to study, with the streamlined routine of a LearningCharger user. Right here on the dashboard, the platform identifies today's focus. It removes the cognitive load of decision-making. You log in, and you know exactly what to do. It achieves this by using your historical accuracy data, feeding you only the exact revision quizzes necessary to patch your specific neural gaps. It takes an intimidating year-long CBSE syllabus and shrinks it down into a manageable 12-minute daily routine. Stop highlighting your textbooks and hoping the information sticks. Start wiring your brain for mastery. Go to learningcharger.com right now. You can test this biological feedback loop yourself by attempting a free Class 10 biology question immediately.